What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, I don't know if you paid attention to my channel last night. I think most of you didn't notice this. I think probably 99.9% of you didn't notice this. But I had uploaded a video last night. Because I got so pissed off at Khris Middleton before the fourth quarter that I was going to rant about him. Win, lose, or draw. I was so pissed off at him, but he had such a dominant fourth quarter that I had to take it down. It was only up for about 2, 3 minutes. I had to take it down because it would have seemed ridiculous for me to be crying about what he did prior to the fourth quarter when he redeemed himself in the fourth. But the problem I have with Khris Middleton, man, and I know I shouldn't, it seems ridiculous that I'm saying this because he had that 20-point fourth quarter, but it still remains to be said that this guy is the most inconsistent second option I've ever seen. I know a lot of people complain about Paul George. Man, I'd take Paul George in a heartbeat if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks over Khris Middleton. The problem I have with Khris Middleton is that he doesn't play within, generally, he doesn't play within his abilities. He sometimes tries, for instance, if you watch this guy play, he becomes more aggressive when he's struggling, which can be a good thing, but not when it's taken away from the team. Giannis could be rolling. Giannis could have scored 4 consecutive baskets, and he's gotten it going. And then Khris Middleton all of a sudden wants to assert himself and start taking over the game and shooting 25, 30 shots when he's, something like 4 for 18 or 19 from the floor. And the Bucks could go from, let's say, up 7 to now suddenly they're down by 3. That's Khris Middleton. He also seems to believe that he has the ball handling ability of Kyrie Irving or Isaiah Thomas, Zeke, or Pistol Pete Maravich or AI or something. When he doesn't, I saw him dribble the ball, liberally, only to get it turned, only to turn the ball over twice. Then I saw him go in the lane with nowhere to go and then try to ditch it off. I think he tried to dish it off to Tucker, but it got picked off because it was such an easy pass for the defense to telegraph. He's not who he think he is, man. And he pissed me off. But he caught fire in the fourth quarter and scored 20 of his 38 points in the fourth quarter. And that was key to Milwaukee's victory. So I had to shut the fuck up for now. Khris Middleton shot 15 of 26 overall from the floor. He had 6 of 12 from beyond the arc. He also had 11 rebounds and 7 assists. He did have 4 turnovers, but oh well. Giannis Antetokounmpo also had 4 turnovers, but he had 33 points and 11 rebounds on 13 of 21 shooting, and even hit a three-pointer. Unlike the last few games where Giannis, I think going back to what, the 7th game of the semis. I think going back to the 7th game of the final series with the Nets into game 2 of this series, Giannis had been shooting very well from the foul line, maybe at a figure approaching 80% or so. But Giannis lost that touch this game, only going 6 of 13 from the line, including one particular air ball that, really it was embarrassing, man. But Bobby Portis did his thing, man. As we've been saying, me and the brother 78 been saying, the Bucks have been needing to play Bobby Portis more, and Brook Lopez maybe a little bit less. And Bobby Portis in 16 minutes had 15 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. He brings energy. Uh, he brings a guy that puts pressure on the defense. And I noticed that they made an adjustment, the Bucks, in the second half, and they moved Giannis to the 5 and put Bobby Portis at the 4, and that helped to change the trajectory of the game. If the Bucks had executed smarter, I'm gonna be honest with you. The more I watch the Bucks in this series, and I look at the schemes and the coaching decisions, as much as Khris Middleton irritates me, it all goes back to the coaching. The Bucks should have a commanding 3-0 lead in this series. They should not have blown game one. And ultimately, even though Khris Middleton went berserk in the fourth quarter and it blew open the game to a great degree, the Bucks should have won this game by 15 to 20 points. The Bucks just do a lot of dumb shit, man. They go away from Giannis. They do too much ISO shit, in my opinion. Like Drew Holiday and Khris Middleton, a lot of these guys they try to they do too much ISO as if they're these great ISO players. You're not fucking Kyrie Irving. You're not James fucking Harden. You're not fucking Kevin Durant. It irritates me. And usually when they do that, they either miss, or they turn the ball over. They only really score when they swing the ball around and they get easier looks. But, because I think Drew Holiday only went 2 of 11 from the floor. Um, Trae Young was on I think Trae Young was on a path to get 45 points again. He finished with 35 points. I think the Bucks did a better job of containing him. Drew Holiday and others. They did a better job of somewhat containing him in the latter part of that game. And Atlanta relied way too much on their 3-point shooting. Think about a 3-point shot. It can save you. It can make you look like a well-oiled machine when it's going down, those threes. But the 3-point shot is tricky. Um, there are some games when that shot's not falling and you look horrible. And when you rely too much on that shot, it can be a problem. If I'm the Bucks, I would try to maybe make Clint Capella shoot the ball more. When I say shoot the ball, I mean score more and get him to the foul line. Get him to the foul line. He's a liability there. And, you know, also, I think that when you put a guy like Bobby Portis in, who's faster, much quicker, obviously, than Brook Lopez, you need to get a guy like Clint Capella into some foul trouble. Whether it's him, Giannis, you know, just do some smart, basic things, man. Like play more inside out. Giannis is the most unstoppable paint producer as far as scoring in the NBA. Why are you not? I don't get it. I don't get it. DeAndre Ayton, who doesn't have, he's a great rebounder. He's a force in his own right. But he's not Giannis as far as athletic ability. And for him, DeAndre Ayton is setting his imprints all over that series with the Clippers and so. You know why? Because their coach is a real fucking coach who knows what the fuck he's doing. When the game started, man, it was the same bullshit. Remember the Hawks got up to like a 25-8 lead, and I'm like, Man, here we go again with this bullshit, man. The only thing I think that's really, well, not the only thing, but one of the things that's helping the Bucks, I think, in this series, the one weakness that the Hawks have is they don't have a lot of playoff experience. And that, I think, will probably, this series is far from over, by the way. The Hawks could very well win game four. But as I said before, though, I think the Hawks play better when they're loose. Now the pressure's on Atlanta to win game four and tie the series up because the Bucks go up 3-1. They're in a very good position the rest of the series. I think that experience will be the difference. I think it'll be the deciding factor in this series. And I'm starting to believe that the Bucks are going to come away the winner. I don't know what the spread of this series is going to be. I don't know anymore. I thought Bucks in 5 when the series first started. I don't know. This series could go 7 because Atlanta just plays better, I think, on the road. But I think experience is going to be different in this series, though. And I think Milwaukee is going to come away going to the NBA Finals. And if it do, it'll be their first NBA Finals appearance in 47 years. If Atlanta goes, it'll be their first final appearance ever in Atlanta since they moved to Atlanta, I think, sometime in the late 60s. It'll be only their second finals appearance and their first since 1958. 1958. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm loving this shit. I love parity. I love seeing new teams in here. I think ultimately, I think this is helping the NBA. Seeing new teams, new players being introduced to fans. This is what I think the NBA should be more about. The NFL, for all of the evils and ills that we have that we see in the NFL, the one thing you can say the NFL gets right is that every team in the NFL, for the most part, you feel like they have a shot at at least sometime going to the Super Bowl. And that's one of the things that, you know, the NFL has going for it that the NBA just does not. And with this playoffs, maybe this will be a trend where we'll see more teams go into the playoffs deep into the finals. But tell me what you guys think.